What's up everyone, welcome back to Sainsfab and welcome to another workshop video. Now in the last workshop video, if you've been following the series, we built a section of mezzanine which massively increased the space that we had upstairs. It's absolutely brilliant, but it has given us a new problem. Let me show you what's going on. On this side of the workshop, you can just about see that in Electrics video 1, we put in all of this lighting and it is absolutely brilliant. This place is fully lit, full electrics, there it is. So if I can work out which my arm goes. Yeah, full electrics, it's absolutely brilliant. But over this side has always been a problem because the ramp up there and the car that's on top of it blocks off the light coming from the ceiling, and it makes this really dark. Now, putting in this new section in mezzanine, let me show you. There's the new section there, which comes right up to the ramp. It's great for working on the car upstairs because it's like right next to you. But if I come round to this corner here, you can see the problem that I have. Now, it's so dark in here that I can't even work, let alone film anything for you guys. So this video is going to be an extension of the lighting system. Now, if I can back myself up, yeah, there's some boxes there. That's got a load of new strip lights in it that match the ones that are over there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to replicate what I've done on that side, on this side, patching into that loom so they all come on together. Let's get into that. Honestly, there are so many things in this workshop right now. I've got this car here, I've got the car up the top, Maris is up the top, the Porsche's down the bottom. I've got two motorbikes over there, both waiting for work. And I've got cars and cars absolutely everywhere. This just needs to catch up, but I need to be able to see what I'm doing. Now these strip lights are actually really, really easy to install. The cover, if I remember rightly, just pops out. And they're held on with strings here, so you can put them up without worrying about it. And you've got your live, neutral and earth connections straight in, and they're just push connections. And there's also two connections on each one, which means that you can daisy the lights on from each other. So I'm going to put this one opposite this light here on the other side of the beam, run a lead to this one, and then daisy everything off of here. Let's put this one up first. This video is going to be a catalogue of just bad lighting, isn't it? That's that one up there. And it's pretty much even on the third and fourth beam. So we're going to send that one in the same place on this side. I really hope this is the last time I shoot video in here where I don't have to worry about where all the lights are and things like that, and lining up torches in different places so that I can see what I'm actually doing. It's going to be so nice. Now, ignore the fact that I'm using my impact driver. I've lent out my drill to someone doing a little bit of DIY and they haven't brought it back yet, which makes things a little bit trickier for me, but we'll get by. We'll get by. Wrong way. There we go. That should be in line with the one behind it. Let's have a look. Yeah, it is. Nice. Let's bung one in this end. I'm using a 1-inch screw, but with an M6 washer on it, which I just dropped across the floor. Luckily, I have another one. Yeah, 1-inch screw, M6 washer, just so it spaces around the holes that are pre-drilled into this. I need more arms. Oh, she's a beauty. Negotiate everything in this building without knocking it all over. God. Oh. Right. And then the other end. Now, did I do it straight? No, not even close. All right, let's do that again. Oh, well, would you look at that? Now, this is where it's going to get a little bit weird. The plan is that this gap here and the gap on the other side of the 4-post ramp is going to be filled up. It's going to be so that it goes right up to the edge of the ramp, and you'll be able to walk straight onto it. Now, it also means that over here is where this beam would not, where this light would normally go, where I want it to go, and it's going to be on the underside of that, and it's going to light up this area great, but that's not what I've got because I ain't got it. So we're going to do something a bit temporary, use a bit of ingenuity, and we are going to use this. This is double-sided, not double-sided, extra large Velcro. Now this is used for guitar pedal boards, and it holds so good. Let me get some scissors. If you've ever put together a guitar pedal board, you'll know how strong this stuff can be, and it is going to be more than enough to hold this little lightweight LED strip on the side of the beam until the mezz is built. So I'm going to stick it up for now, wire it in, and it's going to be in a very similar place to where the light will be when it's absolutely finished. And that means that I can just move it from the mezz beam to the ceiling, won't have to change any of the wiring. So we shall put the fuzzy side here, like that. I'll stick that on there. I hope this works. I don't have another plan. There. That's going to be great. That's going to work just fine. This side is a little bit more untested because I can't put it where I want it because it will be on the concrete. But above it, I've got a lintel going through the wall, big solid metal one. So hopefully the sticky pads are going to stick to it. And that'll do as the next temporary measure. Oh, a bit more. About there. Yeah, I think this is going to work. I think it is. There is stuff everywhere. I don't even know how this is going to fit. I think that'll do it. I think that'll do nicely. Right, let's wire them in. Right, let's have a little bit of light so you can see what I'm doing. What I've got is these junction boxes. Very, very simple affair. Let me whip the cover off and you can have a look. There we go. Right. Inside here is 3 pins so you can link cables together and 2 holes so you can mount it to the wall. So I'm going to put this one near the join of this light and then send one round here and put a join on this side so I can send it down there and then across to the other side of the workshop. Right, how am I going to... Ow! Prick! Don't worry. I know what's under here. You don't need to know what's under here. You just need to know that it's not worth saving. Now, this is the cable that goes from the junction box to the 4-poster ramp. So I'm going to run the cable parallel to this one, zip tie it all together. So my junction box is going to go up here. Fucking kidding me. Take a look at this. The drill just wound it straight in, cracked the thing in half. Absolutely brilliant. We got another one. It's going to change the plan. So I'm still going to put it up here, but instead of putting another one over here and splitting it off to the 2 lights, I'm going to put all of the lights in this one and just run 2 cables under. It's not a lot else I can do except for go and get another one, but to be honest, I don't think I can be bothered. And besides, I'm going to call it an unintentional win. Instead of having 2 of these and making a patch loom and making another 3 connections, If I just do it this way, it costs me 2 foot of cable instead of one connection box and a whole bunch of work. So yeah, I've decided through my own devices that this is the better solution anyway. Just don't break this one, Paul. You even see it? That'll do. Right, wires. Ignore all that bit. Let's have a look at this. There's the wire that I've got. Can't even see it because the lights. There you go. It's probably overkill for what I need here, but overkill's way better than underkill and blowing myself up, right? So we'll tie it into that end and then we'll measure it out and then we'll cut it. So it's easier to see here what I'm doing rather than the one that's in the roof, but I'll show you that when it's done. I'm essentially going to come in from this side and I'm going to cut these to length and then screw them in upstairs. Now, not upstairs, in the roof. What am I talking about? That will do. Okay. I don't even know whether any of this video is worth your watching, to be honest, because every time it seems that I set up a camera, I'm shining a light directly at it and the quality is absolute junk. But hopefully someone's going to get something out of it, or at least be entertained at how rubbish I am at making videos. Anyway, this cable, I will simulate going around the back of the light by putting a loop in here. Then I will take it in parallel to that one. Then I will take it to the inside of that light, and then I will bring it to where the connection is. Then I'll give myself a bit of contingency and I'll cut it there. This is the inside of the light and it's pretty clear what we got to do here. These are push connections. You just push down on these buttons, feed the wire in, and they hold themselves. Don't get a lot easier than that. Conveniently, there's also 2 pins on each one, so you can series them up. And there we go. Easy. Right, off of this junction box here again, and over to that light over there. The space in this workshop, it's like I've never got enough room. Anyway, pins. That one can go nice and right up into the corner. Mind the bike. Mind the bike, I said. Right, here we are at the other one. The cable's just come from there. The connection is right here. So I'm going to go around the back of the mezz at the top, come down this way by the van and the Zonda, come through this hole here and connect onto there. I think that's going to be way more than I need, but I'll sacrifice a little bit just to be sure. Let's have a look. Yes, way too much. I say way too much. That much too much. It's okay. It's okay. There we go. It's a little bit snug, but it's tidy. Tidy. Okay, so we're back at the first light again, and here's the second cable wired into that second set of pins. I've gone round the top of there, given myself loads of slack, and then tied it into this end with a big loop at that end just to make sure I've got more slack than I'll ever need. That one's next, and there's the connection for the second one, spanning over to the third one here. Now I've left loads and loads of slack on this one, and that's mostly because there was only about ½ a metre left on the roll, and I thought, well, what's the point in cutting it off? I might as well leave it on there now, and then I can trim it to the right length when the beams go up next. On the other side, I've decided to do something a little bit different. I've wired in the double there, and then I left loads and loads of slack because I have no idea where it is going. And then I've wired the double in here, and then I thought, well, why am I leaving slack? Why don't I just cut it and then throw it away afterwards? So I've done that one straight on to connect to the end. The other change that I've had to do at this one is that I've come in through the end of the lights instead of round the back, because the grip on the lintel was not as good as I wanted it to be. But it looks all right for now. I'm happy with it. I'm not going to notice it. I'm not going to get upset about it. When it comes to it, I'll probably throw that bit of cable away, put in a new one. Let's clip these lights on, and then we can have a look at the mains power side. Come on, you dickhead. Lovely. Well, it's now time to turn the electric off so I can connect it to the mains. So if you thought the lighting was rubbish so far, wait till you see this. Okay, here we are working under torchlight under the mez. This is fun. The box was there next to the wires, but some star-spangled toss rocket put it on the wrong one. So we moved it to this one where the actual wiring is. What we're going to do, let me move up the ladder a bit and hold the camera. Right, so I'm going to interrupt this wire, and that goes from this light to that light over there. And I've got a bit of slack in it, like it's almost as if I planned this. I've got a bit of slack, that much. So that, where are we? Here. That's about the middle. Let's cut it there. Even though I've turned this off at the wall on the switch and at the mains, still going to be a bit nervous when I do this. Strip these back. Strip these back. Let me show you. Right, hopefully you can see this because it's all the light that I have. This is the light mains coming in from the previous lights down there up to this one. Then these two wires coming out of it are going to the new lights, and then across there is the one going to the other side. So we're going to take those two wires, feed them into the top, line up all the colours and close it off. It's going to go something a little bit like that, and then when the cover's on it looks a little bit like this. Let's turn the electric back on. Okay, I'm turning this on. At the first time you're going to see the first light switch, so if it blows up you'll see it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh wow. Oh wow, look at that! And that changes everything. What an amazing transformation. This whole space is so bright and light, and I can get under the car, I can see what's going on, I can work here, and what a great couple of hours that was. I really hope this was helpful to someone. I hope you're entertained by it, and I hope you stick around, press the like button, press the subscribe button. There's loads more building work to be done still in this workshop, and there's loads more car projects to do. So thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers. In this workshop video, that's wrong, but it has also given us another oh no! Where are they? I think I'll just do this whole thing again.